Hey everyone, it's me again. Welcome back to part 3 in a 3-part series on speeding up your PowerApps development. So you may have a lot of folks in your organization who are developing PowerApps, and if you're looking for speed in development of those PowerApps as well as consistency, you really want to pay attention to this one, where we talk about component libraries and how you can leverage those across your organization. Hi guys, my name's Mike. We've already put together a component, an application header component that you're probably familiar with if you've been paying attention to the series. And what we're going to do now is show you how to actually leverage that same component in another PowerApp. So let's go ahead and jump right into PowerApps. All right, so in order to create a component library, we first need to go to make.powerapps.com. And it may prompt you for credentials. If so, go ahead and log in. And under the Apps tab, you'll have an option for the applications that you have, but then you also have an option for component libraries. And from here, you can actually click on Create Component Library to create your component library. So I'm going to create my first component library here. And now, when this opens up, an important thing to note that this is going to be a little bit different than your application in that it will allow you to create components and things like that, but none of it is actually playable. You won't be able to consume it with a mobile device, and there are a few other limitations like that. So in this case, instead of creating a new component right off the bat, we actually want to export the component from for the application header that we created in our previous post. So we're going to jump back over to our component demo, and on our components tab, we'll have the ability to export components. So we can do that by exporting here. And what will happen is this will result in a file download for you. And so we're going to go ahead and download that file. And so this is going to be in my downloads folder now. Then we can jump back over to our component library and choose to import our components. So we're going to go do that. And you'll notice that you have an option here at the top to upload from a file. So we're going to go find that component demo file that we just exported. And now we actually have an application header component right in our component library. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this other one that we don't need. So we're left with just our application header. So in this case, once we have our component uploaded, we're going to make any adjustments that we need. So in this case, the media or the bulb logo did not come across with it. So we're going to actually go ahead and upload our bulb logo to this component library, and so now we have our logo. So once you've made all of the adjustments you need to make to your component, you're ready to actually save it or publish it. It's important to note that if you've saved this already and then you make changes to it, for example, if you tweak something like this, the next time you save it, you will have to publish it in order for those changes to take effect for everyone and be available to everyone. And the way that you do that is you're simply going to go to File, save your component, and then it will give you another button to publish it, and you can choose to publish this version. And now that you published it, you can actually use it in a new application created in your tenant. So let's create a new application. In this case, we're just going to create a simple Canvas app, and we'll choose phone as our format, and we'll give it a quick name. And we'll choose to create it. Okay, so the way that you get your component in here from the component library is simply to go to one of the insert menus. And down at the bottom of this insert menu, we see an option here for Get More Components. And this will simply surface anything in your tenant that is available and published that is a component library. So in this case, we see our application header. We can choose that component and then easily import it into our application. So after we've imported our header component from the component library, we can actually insert it into our application screen. From the insert menu, it'll be under the library components, and we can simply drag it onto our application, and there you have it. Fast forward a few steps, I actually applied our App OnStart branding to this particular application, as well as added our media logo, if you will. So now that you know how to publish a component in a component library for your organization, others in your organization will be able to leverage the work that you do to create brand or to help speed up their PowerApps development. One of the other special things to note about this is whenever you make changes to components, you can actually include version notes when you publish those changes, and that can be very helpful to your app developers so that they can understand any tweaks they need to make to their applications in order to reconcile the component changes with their application. So like I said before, this is part 3 and concludes our series on speeding up PowerApps development. We hope that this helps you understand some truly effective ways that you can make PowerApps development better for your organization, enforce a brand across your organization, and ultimately facilitate just more productivity in your organization through the creation of PowerApps. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment and we'll be happy to answer those, maybe even in another video post. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. We're posting new content every week. We deal with things like SharePoint, Power Platform, so PowerApps, Power Automate, Power BI, a lot of things in Office 365. So if you're interested in that type of content, be sure to stay tuned.